going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Starlord. That's right, we're talking about the first legendary character you should be getting in Marvel Strike Force. But before we go any further, big shout out to all the new subscribers who joined the channel with my collaboration with Mobile Gamer. There was a lot of you that joined in from that. Basically doubled the subscribe base on my channel with just that collab yesterday. So to all of those new viewers out there, thank you. That's right. I've if you follow Mobile Gamer on Twitch, you know exactly what that is. But yeah, it's this fancy little new piece of equipment that he told me that I should get. So I did. It's got sound effects, so you heard the air horn. Got the Inception foghorn on here as well, and a fun little one that I made yesterday.
I am your father.
So yeah, still gotta work on that Darth Vader voice a little bit, but yeah, this is gonna be a fun little piece of equipment that I'm looking forward to using. But enough of the distractions. Let's talk about Starlord. Now, my channel with the creation has been focused really on new player guides, things you should be working on as a new player, and in pretty much every single video, this guy has been mentioned. And there's a very simple reason for that. He is very easy to get as a new player, and by unlocking him, you're also getting a big boost to your early and mid-game potential. Now, to unlock him, you have to have 5 Guardians of the Galaxy characters, and this is one of the big things about why you should be working on him as your first legendary, is there's not a lot of friendly unlock requirements like this. The only one I can think of outside of him is Magneto, where you can use Brotherhood characters to unlock Magneto. So you automatically can work on the team that you're going to use with Magneto to unlock him, and saves you a lot of resources. And as you know by now, Marvel Strike Force, like Galaxy of Heroes, Raid Shadow Legends, any of these types of games, the Hero Collector games, it's all about resource management. So if you can get a legendary character that has an unlock requirement of similar faction characters, much like Starlord here with Guardians of the Galaxy, you have something that's going to save you a lot of time, and it's very player friendly. A lot of these characters are unlocked or are farmable very early on in the game as well. Mantis and Gamora are through Blitz, Drax is through Arena, Groot is through a Nexus node, I believe. Let me take a look. I think I already worked I worked on him. Yeah, Nexus 2-9, so early on as well. And Rocket Raccoon is through the raid. Now, you can also use Ravager characters to unlock Starlord. I highly recommend you don't do that, because Ravager characters right now are terrible. I see a lot of people use Yondu to unlock Starlord. In fact, originally you couldn't, we didn't have Mantis in the game, so you had to use a Ravager character, and a lot of people did Yondu. The Yondu is straight trash, so can't really use, you do really just go ahead and ignore Yondu, work with Mantis, and use that instead. So yeah, you have 5 Guardians of the Galaxy characters that you will use to unlock Starlord, and there you go, you have Starlord. So what happens once you get Starlord? Well, the good news is that you have a team, potentially you already have half a team here that you can use in raids, you can use them in Dark Dimension. You have some serious potential for some good teams already. But if you're looking for just Guardians of the Galaxy teams, you can use them in Alliance War and Blitz. They're not that strong anymore. They've really fallen off as the power creep has continued to grow. But your Guardians of the Galaxy right now, I've seen people put them on defense. They're a pretty powerful team on defense. They're also very good on offense as well. And the one goal that you want to use is having Starlord on the far corner of a team, and then have Rocket Raccoon plop next to him. Now, one other video I did talking about T4s with Valley Flying, I mentioned that Starlord has one of the best T4s for beginning players, and that's through improvisation, where he is able to give 1 to 2 ability energy to adjacent allies. It's a very, very big deal, and it's going to be very helpful for a lot of teams that you're going to use Starlord with. Obviously, the common consensus for Guardians is to put Starlord on the edge and then Rocket Raccoon right next to him. So Rocket is constantly getting ability energy. You have his ultimate constantly going off. He is just tearing apart enemy teams. That's the best way to use Rocket and Starlord within Guardians team. But you can also use this in other game modes as well. And the big one is going to be your Ultimus raids. Now, if you are working on an Ultimus raid, the best team that really seems to solo any kind of nodes when Ultimus raids 1 through 6 is going to be the BKT, or the Best Kree team, and this involves Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, and then Minerva and Thanos. Now, this one is not exactly the most accessible to new players. Minerva is exclusive through premium orbs. Thanos used to be premium orb exclusive, but now he's in the Chapter 7 node farm, so he's a little harder to get for new players, because at least you could whale out on premium orbs, if nothing else, and get him from there. But now, unless you see the offers or you get really lucky in premium orbs, you're gonna have to wait a long time to farm him. But the best Kree team, that's the one I use right now, and I use it on full auto, and I just clear all my nodes in Ultimate 6. It works great. I love it. There's a lot of healing, regeneration, ability, energy generation. Rocket Raccoon is just constantly going off with his ultimate. Overall, this one with Star-Lord plugged in there really helps make this team. So Star-Lord is kind of one of the characters you can use to really get a nice head start on raids, and raids are very important because of what they can give you, for especially for a new player. Obviously, you want to join a guild that's going to get you a nice head start on raids. And you know, raids do give you the orbs that give you a lot of purple and blue gear, also give you a lot of purple and blue ability materials as well. Those are all very, very important. So getting raids in, making sure you make good progress, helping your guild clear the raids, that is all very important. Star-Lord is going to be very helpful for getting the ball rolling for you in terms of clearing the raids. Now, outside of raids and outside of Alliance War and Blitz, another mode that I've had some great success with Star-Lord is going to be Dark Dimension. Now, if you guys haven't checked out the videos I did with Mobile Gamer about Dark Dimension 1 and 2, recommend you guys go check those guides out. But for Dark Dimension 1, a character that I love to plug in here is going to be Star-Lord, because he has the ability generation, he can call assist, and plugging him in with Rocket Raccoon once again, and I have to say, Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord are a very dynamic duo, a team that's really going to do some solid things for you. They are just using them, plugging them in with Dark Dimension 1. It's gonna be a grind, but Rocket and Star-Lord, and throwing in someone like Groot, and then Scientist Supreme, getting those buffs up on Rocket, and then just unleashing his ultimate, that does some nasty work. I mean, you're just going to shred a lot of enemies in there. You have the defense down on the enemy team because of Scientist Supreme. It's a solid team. I love it. It's what I use to clear Dark Dimension 1, and it's also a repeat of what I used in Dark Dimension 2 for a while. I mean, I just unlocked Shuri, and someone told me I should try out Shuri, so eventually I'll have to try her out. But yeah, Star-Lord and Rocket with Scientist Supreme, that's a combination I used in Dark Dimensions 1 and Dark Dimensions 2. Unlocked my Ultron. In fact, I just got 7-star Ultron last night, so I am very excited to be using him in Arena. He's just tearing apart some enemies in Arena. It's beautiful to watch. But the Star-Lord is just the passive with Star-Lord, the ability generation. Overall, this team he's just going to be a character that, while his unlocks are very easy for new players to get, the fact that you're going to get a lot of early and mid game potential with Star-Lord is a big deal. I mean, just the fact that he is the engine that drives Rocket for these teams that you can use in raids, these teams that you can use in Dark Dimensions 1 and 2. Overall, this makes him a must-have character for any new or beginning player in Marvel Strike Force, because of just what he's going to bring to the table for you. Now, in terms of late game, unfortunately, he falls off. You don't really see him a lot in some of these other game modes. And of course, part of that is that his stats are not the best here. I have him at 4 red stars, 5 gold stars, 75,000 health at level 70, tier 13. It's not exactly the best. That's very, very squishy for him. I mean, Rocket Raccoon, I don't think is much better either. I've got him at 7 stars with 4 red stars, 84,000 here. Both Star-Lord and Rocket do not have a lot of health, and so when you go into something like Dark Dimension 3, which is like the end game content people are clearing right now, you don't really have the survivability with Star-Lord to make him work in those kinds of game modes, so he does fall off there. But your Guardians teams, you'll still use them in Blitz, you'll still use them in Alliance War for offense and defense, so you can still find a use for him. But once you get to later game, he really falls off in all the places you can use him. I know people don't use him in Ultimate 7 either, It doesn't seem like he is a solid character for Ultimate 7. You have teams like Phoenix, Shuri, gosh, what is it, Scientist Supreme? I don't know. I've still got to work on Ultimate 7. I should, hopefully I can get to Ultimate 7 eventually. But right now, Starlord just doesn't really seem to have any use for those later game modes. So that's something to keep in mind, is that use him, get him up to gear 13, and use him for Dark Dimension 2. And that's about as far as you want to go with him. That's about as far as you want to go for any of your Guardians. There's no real reason to go to gear tier 14 on them. In fact, you can see I don't even have Mantis, Drax, or Gamora that high. Gamora has been neglected because I don't use her as my Guardians team. So it's one of those things where you can use them. You can use Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot in something like Dark Dimension 2 and get them up to gear tier 13 for that. But once you have them to gear tier 13, leave them alone. You can see that I can put pieces of gear on them, but I'm not touching them at that point. I'm leaving them exactly where it is now. So Star-Lord, great beginning game potential, great mid game potential with Ultimate 6, with Dark Dimensions 1 and 2, but really falls off for your end game potential. Not something you really want to use later on in the game. So he is great to get the ball rolling, get a lot of teams farming, get you those ability materials, get you that gear through the raids, and then get you Ultron, because trust me, you are gonna want Ultron. I might have to do a video on my Ultron and just marveling over the sheer amount of damage that guy pumps out. I love him so much right now. I love him in Arena. But yeah, Star-Lord, great character for you to get as an early player, one that you definitely should get at the start. But later on in the game, he gets overshadowed by better legendaries, better teams out there. So Star-Lord, definitely the character you guys should be farming first as a legendary. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think of Star-Lord? Is there something I missed with Star-Lord? Let me know. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share with all your friends out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.